Hasbro has been releasing some incredible G1 based character designs in the mainline for several years now, in a phase that I would say began in 2020 with the War for Cybertron trilogy's Siege show, in which they released all kinds of Cybertronian mode characters that didn't even necessarily appear in the Netflix show. But it didn't stop there. It bled over into Earthrise, in which all kinds of G1 characters like Hoist and Grapple, who hadn't seen the light of day in way too long, got some incredible releases with their Earth mode. It continued with Kingdom, in which they decided to merge Beast Wars characters with even more G1 characters like Huffer and Pipes. It was straight up fan service, and I personally thought it was great. However, I didn't see how it could last with Kingdom because there was only a couple of waves left, and there was plenty of G1 characters they still hadn't released yet that needed to be released, and I was very much disappointed when Gears got canceled. But then bang, out of nowhere comes Transformers Legacy, which introduces all kinds of new designs for characters from other Transformers media, but not forgetting about G1 and releasing plenty of other characters. And at the moment that they released Skids, I knew they were going to get to all of them, even continuing into the Age of the Primes toy line. Age of the Primes is just pounding through the Combiner characters. I feel like the G1 Combiners take up like half of the G1 cast, so they're definitely well on their way to sifting through all of the characters. Today we're going to comprehensively fly over all of the remaining G1 original show characters that still need to be released in some capacity. Now that includes only the original G1 show, not the Japanese spin-offs, even though I love the Master Force and Victory characters that have been getting released so far. Also, I consider the Studio Series 86 characters to be supplementary to the other mainline characters, so if the character has already been released in the Studio Series 86 line, we're crossing them off the list. I would also love to be able to cover all of the characters that deserve remolds or re-releases. However, we won't be getting to that in this video. If they've been released in some capacity, they're also crossed off the list. Now for the comprehensive list of all the G1 characters that we're still waiting on. First up, we have Windcharger, Seaspray, and Powerglide. Now these characters haven't been released since the Legends class releases in the Prime Wars trilogy. And those were some nice Legends class figures, but like we've been seeing with Cliffjumper, Bumblebee, and Gears, we need some more involved deluxe releases of these characters to do them justice. In the upcoming Walmart line, we've already got revealed Gears and Bumblebee, who are going to be using pre-existing molds but are repainted in their toy deco. And we also know that we're eventually going to be getting Seaspray in this line as well. And so knowing that we have the mold, chances are I think we're going to be getting a mainline release of him with his tune accurate color scheme. We also need a release of Tailgate, Swerve, and Outback. And Outback would be an easy release. Just take the Studio Series 86 Brawn and retool.
As for the Autobot Combiners, we'll still need the 5 Technobots to form Computron and the 5 Protectobots to form Defensor, and it's probably only a matter of time before we get
G1
these.
Fembots we still need include Firestar, Moonracer, and Beta. Lancer got released in the Generation Selects line, probably to make up for her absence in the Prime Wars toy line. Personally, I think that the molds that were released for the Prime Wars, Moonracer, and Firestar are still pretty valid, so if Hasbro re-releases those, I'd still call that good. To be honest, I would just buy the Firestar and Moonracer molds from the Prime Wars trilogy, except that there's this. We already got a release of Goldbug, now we just need Chase, Freeway, Rollbar, Searchlight, and Wideload. They definitely deserve the attention to detail to be released with their own mold and not just be repainted. The only Autobot Targetmaster we still need is Sureshot, who was going to be released but was canceled, so uncancel please. The Autobot Headmasters, as well as, I'll just go ahead and throw in the Decepticon Headmasters, all got released pretty recently in the Walmart exclusive retro reissue line, and I think those were kind of detached releases from the actual main line, but I still think they're valid figures using the Prime Wars mold, so no huge rush or anything, but I do think they deserve a modernized release in a current or upcoming main line. We need Titan class Metroplex. We got this design, but we need the G1 release. Hasbro just re-released the Titans Return Fortress Maximus, and they basically just released the Titans Return Triptychon, but in more accurate G1 colors. However, Metroplex hasn't gotten a Titan class release since 10 years ago for the 30th anniversary, so they definitely need to re-release him with a brand new mold and include Scamp. There's a lot of Junkin characters that definitely could and I think should get released. However, I do think that is Studio Series 86 territory. Now, Ramhorn, one of Blaster's mini-cassettes, still needs to be released in some capacity as well. But once again, I do think that would be a Studio Series 86 release. Decepticon time. So we're already getting the Studio Series 86 release of the Devastator, Vortex, and I believe Swindle. So it's only a matter of time, my dear Combaticon fans, that we are going to be getting the rest of the Bruticus figures. Then just give us all the Predacons and all the Terracons, and we can cross off all of the Decepticon Combiners. Some of the best Decepticon releases we could hope to get would be the remaining multi-changers, Octane, who had such a huge presence in the original G1 cartoon, as well as Six Shot, the Six Changer. Even though he's more of a Headmasters character, he did appear in the finale of the US run of the G1 cartoon. And what would the Autobot Targetmasters be without their Decepticon Targetmaster enemies, Slugslinger, Stinger, Trigger Happy, and Misfire. We still need those 3 guys to be released as well. Lastly, Soundwave has just 2 mini-cassettes that haven't been released in some capacity, often forgotten characters, and that would be Slugfest and Overkill.
Those were the main, most obvious G1 characters we need released, but there are others, such as those that have a prominent appearance in only one episode. Characters like this that have been released include Nightbird, Devcon, and Transmutate. Therefore, each of these are definitely possible. Among these are Autobot X, BOT or Bot, and Playback, one of the Autobot pacifists on Paradon, since we've already got a release of Lifelink. A basic-looking Paradon Autobot could also get released. We've gotten the Quintesson Judge, Prosecutor, and Bailiff, but we still could use a release of the Execution. In 5 Faces of Darkness Part 1, there are a few clearly designed vehicle modes of Transformers that could be released. 5 Faces of Darkness Part 4 has many ancient Cybertronians that could be released as well. These include the consumer goods and military goods produced by the Quintessons, the ancestors to Autobots and Decepticons. The Decepticon warlord before Megatron, named Tranus, could also be released, as well as the design for his Decepticon warriors. This episode also includes many Primes, including Prima, who is part of the 13 Primes in the Age of the Primes toy. However, only his head sculpt resembles his G1 appearance. The other Primes that appeared in the episode include Primon, Prime Nova, Guardian Prime, who basically looks like Hot Rod, Zeta Prime, and Sentinel Prime, a character that appears quite a bit throughout the episode. Any characters you think I missed? Comment down below.